You walk into a room. You know exactly why you're there, until the moment you cross the threshold. Suddenly, it's gone. You stand there, confused, wondering where your purpose went, but your mind is empty. You walk back the way you came, and suddenly, like magic, you remember. Why does this happen? How is it possible that from one second to the next, we're completely clueless? This phenomenon is called the doorway effect, but it's really about something much bigger. Your brain doesn't experience life as one continuous flow. It breaks your experience into distinct episodes, much like scenes in a movie. When you walk through a door, your brain hits a mental reset button. It clears out the details of what you were just thinking about to make room for whatever comes next. The thought you were carrying gets filed away as part of the previous context. And now, in this new space, your brain is ready for something new. The researchers who discovered this, Gabriel Radvansky and his team, tested it in a simple way. They had people navigate virtual environments, picking up objects and moving through rooms. Sometimes participants walked through doorways. Other times, they moved the same distance within a single room. Every time someone crossed a doorway, their memory for what they were doing dropped significantly. The doorway was the trigger. But this isn't a bug in your brain's programming. It's a feature. Our ancestors didn't live in houses with multiple rooms and hallways. They lived in environments where a change in location often meant a change in danger, opportunity, or social context. The problem is, we no longer live in the forests and plains of our ancestors. We live in a world of constant context switching. You're answering emails, then you make coffee, then you're in a meeting, then you're back at your desk trying to remember what you were working on before the meeting. Every transition, whether physical or mental, is a doorway. But the doorway effect isn't just about memory, it's also about identity. You are not the same person in every room. You feel different at your desk than you do in your kitchen. You act different at the gym than you do in your bedroom. And it's not just because of social roles or expectations, it's because context shapes consciousness. The philosopher Martin Heidegger spent his career exploring this idea. He argued that you can't separate a person from their environment. You are always situated, always embedded in a context. This is why you can feel like a completely different person at work than you do at home. It's why certain places make you creative and others make you anxious. In other words, your sense of self is deeply context-dependent. So what do we do with this? Knowing this phenomenon is one thing, but how can we take full advantage of it instead of fighting it? The first step is to stop context switching. Every time you move between tasks, rooms, or mental states, you pay a cognitive cost. Your brain has to reorient and rebuild the mental model of what you're doing and why. If you want deep focus, you need to stay in one context long enough for your brain to fully immerse in it. You block time, close the door, and eliminate unnecessary transitions. The next thing to remember is this: when you do have to switch contexts, do it intentionally. The doorway effect happens because your brain interprets the transition as significant, so make it significant. If you're about to walk into a meeting, take a breath at the threshold. Tell yourself what you're about to do. Rituals work because they mark boundaries. And finally, one last thing. If you want to think differently, change your environment. If you're stuck on a problem, go somewhere else. Sit in a different room. The doorway effect works both ways. It erases context, but it also creates space for something new. The doorway effect is a reminder that your mind is dynamic. It's constantly changing. It's what makes you adaptable. It's what allows you to be different people in different situations and think differently in different spaces. The key is learning to work with that change instead of pretending you're a single continuous self who can hold everything in your head at once. So the next time you walk into a room and forget why you're there, don't just walk back out. Recognize what just happened. Your brain just ended one chapter and started another. And if you want to remember the plot, you need to write it down, slow down the transitions, and be intentional about what you're carrying forward. What do you think about this phenomenon? Share your ideas in the comments. And if this video was useful to you, subscribe for more insights on how our mind works.